Hello guys, in this video I will show you a typical Laravel CRUD but with 5 different versions of different things inside of Laravel CRUD. Because I was experimenting with AI and a few models and I asked AI to generate this CRUD of cars with the form and the fields, and some things AIs did differently. So this video will be kind of a set of quick tips based on those differences in AI generated code, with some lessons along the way about routing, about Blade, about reusable create and edit forms, and more. If you want to know the AI part of that story, the video is on my other channel, AI Coding Daily. It was about GPT 5.1 Codex Max, and I will link that video in the description below. But in this video, I want to focus on Laravel differences. So my prompt for the AI was this: create a CRUD, Laravel CRUD, using Tailwind theme Blade components. And the first thing I want to show you is how differently it added route resource. So this is the change by Sonnet model, and this is route resource inside of route group. Even with one controller, Sonnet decided to have a group. This is the version by Claude Opus, just route resource with middleware here without route group. So basically when adding a new controller, you may add it separately or think about what group will be useful in the future. And the third version was done by Codex, which I liked the most. See, there was already route dashboard with middleware auth, so we decided to refactor the old route and create a new route group, because both routes need the same middleware auth. So the result is route group with dashboard and new controller, new resource inside of the same group. So the takeaway from here is, when adding new route, don't add it anywhere. Think in which group it belongs. Maybe regroup the middlewares for some patterns if you see repeating middlewares or repeating other features of the group. So basically don't just add the route. Think about what refactoring or what repositioning of routes may be useful for the future maintenance of the code. Next, I want to show the controller create method with temporary variables created by Sonnet in this case. So we need some data for the dropdowns of creating new car, and you can just create them like this. But personally, I don't like such temporary variables. If they are useful elsewhere, then yeah, sure, fine. But in this case, it's just used only once. So what I like better in case of Opus is this: just inline operations. If they are as simple as these, without much logic and without multiple lines, this is totally fine and readable. So to me, this version is better. But Codex did it in a third way. So this is the code by Codex, same create method, and we have this form options. So what is that form options? It's a method inside of the same controller, and we can see that method used in the create form and then later in the edit method as well, this form options. And this is the main point, reusable function, which builds that array of variables, key and value. In this case, Codex also added the ordering. So yeah, if you want the same variables in the create and edit, you may create a separate function for that. And with that ... it's kind of merging the array with other keys and values if you need more data passed into the Blade view. Not sure, do you like this approach? Of course, it maybe depends on the amount of data and the operations. In some cases, it's elegantly readable. In other cases, it's overkill. So it probably depends. And this is a general theme in this video. There's no right or wrong. I'm just showing you different options, different variants of writing similar code, and it's your choice which to use. So in this case, Codex made reusable function for create and edit. And this is another similar thing I wanted to show you, reusability of create and edit forms in Blade. So if we look at the create and edit Blade, they are similar, and this is example by Sonnet, just a lot of inputs and then similar inputs in the edit Blade, nothing really fancy, although a lot of repeating code. This is example by Opus with better reusability of at least inputs, which come from tail admin theme. So Blade components, if it's the same input with similar CSS, reusability is always good, and that's what Blade components are for. So same inputs in the create, and in edit Blade also same inputs. But again, Codex did it the third way. This is the create blade by Codex, and this is edit blade by Codex. See, there's partial form included. So if your code is identical or almost identical for create and edit, it may make sense to have a partial with a bit different values if needed. For example, car null in this case for the create form, and then inside of the form you can do something like forms input and then have car with question mark as potentially nullable value. This is, in my opinion, a bit risky because you never know what would be the difference in create and edit blade, and then you need to add some if statements here and there, but again, it depends. In some cases, create and edit is almost identical, and then it makes sense to have such partial. I'm personally a bigger fan of separate create and edit blade, but we can, as usual, discuss in the comments below. And there are two more things I want to show in this video, the differences. So for each of the table, this one, the table, if there are no records, if the table is empty, Codex in this case did a more lousy job, so to speak, not encountering that possibility. So for each, and then if there's no record, then it's just and for each, and it would be empty table. A better approach, here's an example from Opus, is for else. Did you know that there's for else, not only for each? And then for else expects the ending of empty, and then this block would be shown if there are no records in the for each loop. In that case, that empty state would be filled with link to add the first record. This is much better from user experience perspective. And the final thing I wanted to show you is separate CSS classes for column depending on its value. And there are also 3 different ways how LLMs did that thing. So here's the option from Sonnet, span, and then if statement, depending on status name, it adds CSS classes. So if, else if, and then else. 3 options, and then and if at the end. It's not even easy to read in terms of formatting. Maybe it should be reformatted in a different way, something like this perhaps. Yeah, that's more readable. But what is even more readable is the version of the same thing by Opus. Match statement with the same value. So instead of if, we have match, which is easy to read, and then you have temporary variable in PHP, which is then used at the end like this. Much more readable. But actually, the most elegant solution, in my opinion, is blade class directive. And this is what was done by Codex model, and it looks like this. Class, and then you have array. You have these classes with this condition, and then you have list of classes with list of conditions, kind of as key value pair. So you don't have if or match above and then the value. The value is automatically generated with class and is added to the previous CSS classes. Actually, looking at that, I changed my mind a bit. Class in general, class directive is the most elegant for me personally, but if it's a lot of classes and then that condition gets a lot longer to the right, then it's not more readable. I have to scroll left and right to actually see the condition, so probably match in this case is more readable, but again, as usual, debatable, and we can discuss in the comments. So yeah, these were the differences I wanted to show you. This video is not about AI and LLMs, but we can discuss that topic as well. And for those tips and tricks and various options how to write the same code, have you learned something new, or maybe you changed your mind on something? Again, we can discuss in the comments. And also, I want to remind you of a newsletter. So on Laravel Daily, there's a free newsletter I send every Thursday. This is a form for that email list by MailChimp. There is no fancy design here, and I want to show you the latest issue, for example. So I'm relinking the videos from my own channel and also links from Laravel community, what interesting I've noticed over last week. So if you want to have that digest in your inbox every Thursday for free, the link to that newsletter will be in the description below. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.